Good evening, everyone. This is Melissa Thomas of Florida National News with your evening news rundown for Wednesday, July 22nd, already 2020. And just a quick note for those who are small business owners. You guys know I like to make sure to extend the invitation to you. We do accept advertisements, and we have a platform of 5 different shows. So if you are looking and interested to advertise with us, you can email ads@floridanationalnews.com to find out more. We'd love to get you started. All right, getting into our show today, as always, we like to give you guys the latest reports globally here in the United States and in the state of Florida. So globally, the World Health Organization is reporting over 14.7 million confirmed cases and over 612,000 confirmed deaths. The Johns Hopkins University here in the US is reporting over 3.9 million confirmed cases and over 142,000 confirmed deaths. Here in the state of Florida, the Department of Health is reporting over 379,000 confirmed cases and well over 5,300 confirmed deaths. Now, jumping into the world story for today, Spain is reporting triple COVID-19 increases over the last 3 weeks after easing their lockdowns. Now, the newest clusters are taking place mainly in the Catalonia and Aragon regions. Now, this is after thousands of cases and hundreds of deaths back in April at its peak. Spain did succeed in slowing the number of new infections to a trickle. However, after easing those restrictions back in June, they began to see an increase. Now, the difference is that previously it was about 8 out of every 100,000 people at the end of June when the state of emergency was lifted to now 27 per 100,000 people, according to the deputy health emergency chief in a news conference. Now, the health minister, Salvador Illa, said, where measures have been relaxed is where these clusters appear. We're talking about gatherings of extended family and spaces associated with nightlife. So this is very similar to the report you guys heard us share yesterday about France and their mask mandate, that they tightened their mask mandate, given to the increase in cases that they saw because of family gatherings over the summer holidays. So you guys always hear us here at Florida National News exhort you, wear your mask, protect your hands, glove them, wash them, sanitize them, and practice social distancing. On Friday, the Catalan regional government urged 4 million people, including residents of Barcelona, to stay at home and avoid gatherings of more than 10 people. So essentially, they're going back into a pseudo lockdown as well, because they're looking right now at over 201 new clusters that have appeared with those heavy concentrations in those regions. Now, to try to prevent similar outbreaks, most Spanish regions now have made face masks mandatory, even when social distancing is guaranteed. They just want to make sure to have that safeguard in place, which goes a step further than the national directive. Now, coming here to the US, California is on track to top New York in COVID-19 cases. Johns Hopkins University is reporting California having 9,000 new cases per day, whereas New York right now is adding a little more than 700 cases per day over the past week. So obviously, cause for pause there. Now, what's important about the California cases is that half of the new cases are occurring in people 40 years old and younger, according to the state health department. And also, the state health department is reporting that the Latino community there is being hit particularly hard. Latinos comprise 38.9% of the population in the state, but account for 55% of the new cases that are being reported. So this is definitely something that is of alarm for them. And health officials are saying that this could be due in part to the fact that the Latinos there typically live in multi-generational households, and they make up a large portion of essential workers that have that increased exposure to the COVID-19 virus. So we'll keep you guys posted on that as well. Jumping here very quickly to the state of Florida, a quick COVID-19 update. Osceola County is now set to levy fines for mask violations. You've heard us report various counties across the state of Florida with mask mandates. As of Monday, Osceola County commissioners voted to add fines for their mask mandate. The first offense will issue a warning. The second and third offense will be $25. And if you are stubborn enough to have a fourth offense, you will have to pay $50. Now, the changes were approved with a 4-1 vote among the Osceola County commissioners. So if you're in Osceola County, it's not worth the fine. Just wear the mask. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick commercial break and come back with some more news for you.
My name is Russell Drake. I'm an Orange County resident and a community advocate. On August 18th, I'm voting for Rick Singh. Rick Singh has been an outstanding property appraiser for the last 7 years. Under his leadership, he has returned $1 billion to the county. Under his leadership, property value has gone up, and he is now managing over $206 billion in assets, the most in county history. Under his leadership, there have been a series of awards won by his hard-working staff. He has set the tone for that. Furthermore, he's a man of his word. He's no stranger to the community. From the east to the west, from the north to the south, property appraiser Rick Singh is in the community. He held a series of homestead exemption seminars around the county, catering to your needs. Rick Singh is here for the people. So on August 18th, I encourage you and everyone you know to vote Rick Singh, re-elect him for property appraiser.
Re-elect Rick Singh for Orange County Property Appraiser.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Evening News Rundown. In another U.S. story, President Trump has signed a memorandum that will exclude undocumented immigrants from census reapportionment. In layman's terms, the 2020 census, you guys have likely heard how important it is in terms of congressional districting. So President Trump on Tuesday signed a memo to be sure to exclude the number of undocumented immigrants from that impact, from the districting. Now, of course, the Supreme Court has blocked the administration's effort to add a citizenship question to the 2020 census form, with the majority saying that the administration's rationale for the citizenship question to help enforce voting rights appeared to be contrived. But this was the next step for President Trump in terms of that. And of course, the memorandum that he signed drew immediate criticism from Democratic officials. Now, in the memorandum, President Trump wrote, quote, "The respect for the law and protection of the integrity of the democratic process warrant the exclusion of illegal aliens from the apportionment base to the extent feasible and to the maximum extent of the president's discretion under the law." Now, the Census Bureau said last month that more than 90 million households had already responded to the census, with the majority of people doing it online. Now, people can still go ahead and respond on their own online if you haven't filled out the census yet, you still can. You can do it online, over the phone, or by mail, all without having to meet with a census taker. So that's a bit of an update on that. Jumping back here to the state of Florida, in a little bit of fun news, especially as entertainment goes, but a floating cinema with socially distanced boats is coming to Orlando. It's a very unique experience. Now, this is coming to Orlando in September. So far, a specific location in Orlando has not been named, but it is coming in September. The cinema will be made up of 12 to 24 mini boats holding up to 8 people per boat. Now, the tickets will require you to purchase spots for the whole boat to ensure that just your group of people will be on the boat and ensure safe social distancing. Anybody that you're familiar with, you're all in one clustered space. The company, Beyond Cinema, said that the movies are set to be a mix between golden oldies and new releases, so that's a bit of excitement there. But those movies will be announced when the tickets go on sale. And here's a good kicker for those of you who are big movie buffs and always have a nitpick about the popcorn. If you're coming to this experience, the popcorn will be free for everyone in attendance. And other movie snacks and drinks will be available for purchase before you set sail. So that's pretty cool. Now, the company has set up similar experiences in cities across the world. So the Orlando one isn't anything new. This is one of their many stops. And this particular unique cinema experience will be available for just 5 days, beginning on September 13th. So watch this space. We'll update you when it comes to Orlando to make sure you don't miss your opportunity. Now, stay tuned, guys. We're going to take another quick commercial break and come back with your business, sports news, and the hashtag Worker Wednesday. Angel Perry is waiting backstage to join us for the conversation. We'll be right back.
At Duke Energy, we deliver electricity and so much more, like free home energy assessments, rebates for energy-saving improvements, payment options to help you better manage your budget, and even bill credits for helping the community use less energy. So no matter what you're doing, we can help you make better energy choices every day. It's just another way we bring power to your life. How much can you save?
All right, guys, welcome back to the Evening News Rundown. Jumping into your business story, Best Buy is announcing a pay raise for its staff thanks to increase in sales due to the quarantine. Now, according to the company, the largest areas of sales growth were in the computing, appliance, and tablet categories. Of course, everybody's at home. Now, since Best Buy began allowing customers to shop without an appointment at more than 800 of its stores across the US starting back in June, the company's retail sales grew approximately 15% compared to the prior year, while online sales growth was approximately 185% compared to the prior year. So congrats to Best Buy. In terms of the pay raise, they are raising employee wages to $15, and they will give employees a 4% raise starting on August 2nd. So congrats to the staff at Best Buy. Now the move is coming following temporary furloughs of approximately 51,000 employees. You guys heard us report on this over the last few months. That was back on April 19th. Now, the company noted that it is retaining approximately 82% of its full-time store and field employees, including the majority of in-home advisors and Geek Squad agents. And of course, the Geek Squad agents are going to be very necessary given the jump in appliance purchases and, well, particularly tech purchases, I should say. Now, approximately half of that 51,000 domestic hourly employees returned from the furlough as of June 15th. The company also extended the health benefits at no cost through September 5th for those who are still furloughed right now and currently enrolled in a company health plan. So a bit of good news there in the business world for those who are Best Buy employees. Jumping into our sports story, something very exciting. The National Women's Soccer League announced a new team is coming to the league in 2022. Specifically, the team is right now being dubbed Angel City. The group of owners is actually a group of powerhouse ladies, including celebrities, former professional U.S. women's national team soccer players, and a couple of other high-profile celebrities. So that includes Natalie Portman, Serena Williams, and her daughter Alexis, actresses Uzo Aduba, Jessica Chastain, America Ferrera, Jennifer Garner, and Eva Longoria. Other members include late-night talk show host Lily Singh, who of course made history this year as the first Indian American to have her own late-night talk show, and the former U.S. women's national team members Julie Foudy and Mia Hamm. So congrats to them. They together are co-owners of this new National Women's Soccer League team. Right now, it's dubbed Angel City, according to the NWSL. The official name and venue partner will be announced towards the end of the year. So definitely stay tuned for this. Casey will likely talk about this on Friday as well when she comes back with the FNN Sports take. Now, jumping into our Worker Wednesday segment, you guys heard us talk about the Florida Education Association leveling a lawsuit against the state of Florida to kind of stop the mandated reopening of the schools here in the state. The president of the organization, Frederick Ingram, said that this is something that should be handled at the local level. So to talk a little bit more about this, we bring in Angel Perry, who is the executive vice president of the Communication Workers of America Local 3108 Union. Always a pleasure, Angel. Thanks so much for being here.
Always. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So yeah, let's talk about this. What are your thoughts on the lawsuit and where do you think things are going to go?
I think the teachers were forced to do this. So in the language of the mandate, it weighed heavily on brick and mortar. And that's what the problem is. And similar to what I was explaining last week, the admins were the one that were in control of what portions had to do with virtual school, online schooling, and what was mandated for students to be at school or in school. Mm-hmm. The biggest issue that the teachers have expressed to me and parents have expressed to me, there is nothing in place for the state of Florida as a baseline guideline to keep the students and the teachers safe. So that's the biggest issue. So there's no funding for disinfectants. There's no extra staff to do the cleanings. Now, most corporations that have staff in their buildings that cannot work from home have 2-hour intervals where the buildings are wiped down and disinfected on a regular basis. The state of Florida doesn't even have that. So you're asking teachers to come up with, make up, and find money where, we don't know, to keep themselves safe and keep the students safe. There is nothing set in place right now. So if you walk into a school, it looks exactly how it did January 1st, 2020.
Wow. And I mean, given where things are right now, and obviously we just heard about the lawsuit on Monday, where do you think things should go now in terms of that lawsuit? Do you think it's going to be effective in causing a slowdown in the process or a modification of the process? Kind of talk about that.
So with the lawsuit, it was needed. They had to do it. What's going to happen and what's going to be the pushback is there's this narrative that herd immunity will help the Floridians as they deal with the virus. Herd immunity requires 60% of the population of Florida to be infected. And our rate as of right now is at 1.5% death rate. So doing the math, we're at 5,300, a little over 5,300 deaths.
Mm-hmm.
Herd immunity requires 200,000 deaths for it to even begin. It is a natural mechanism to keep a species alive. So requiring nature to all of a sudden make everyone immune has to cause a lot of deaths for nature to kick in to protect us. I don't know who's going to get in that line to sacrifice their relatives to have 200,000 deaths. I don't know who's doing that. I'm not doing that. My people aren't doing that. So that conversation of herd immunity, pick up a science book. Please pick up a science book.
Yeah, and I mean, realistically, teachers wouldn't want to do that either. Teachers or parents,
nobody wants
they
to
protect
do
their
that.
Kids. Mm-hmm.
So reality is we have to slow down the virus in order for the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry to have time to get those vaccines. They are working 24 hours a day. With this lawsuit, because of that belief of herd immunity and I'm going to be fine, everybody's going to be fine, they don't realize that nature has to see a gross amount of deaths for that to kick in. So when the docket comes up for this lawsuit, they're going to get a lot of pushback. So the plan is if a judge refuses to see it, they will have to ask for an injunction. So we're going to have to wait and see if, the judicial system will be on the side of the teachers, because I don't know, 5,344 people have died already, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but it will be a lot more with repeat exposure.
Right. Which is what we had discussed last week, with the teachers in Arizona, and they had the PPE that they needed.
They did everything right. And you had the 3 teachers working in the summer. My condolences to the Bird family, and one we don't have one. And we're looking to repeat that here across the United States. The biggest thing is the schools need to be retrofitted so that people are protected. At the very least, let's start there. Disinfectants, shields, PPE. Why are the admins making decisions? The teachers need to lead what happens in the schools that they teach in.
And then I guess to wrap the conversation up, is there anything that a layperson can do to get involved or to add pressure, if you will, if they want to kind of influence that decision?
Absolutely. So with the teachers, which is a very powerful union, and it's only powerful because of the numbers, they are citizens as well, they are parents as well. All the parents that want something to be done correctly and let the teachers lead the way in this effort, they need to call their local House and Senator representative. They need to be calling the governor's office and speaking out. Say what you want to happen. It has to be done at a local level. The teachers need to lead the charge because they're the ones on the front line.
Right. Well said. This brings me back to the interview we did with Senator Randolph Bracey, where he said, like,
yes.
hey, guys, if you don't call us, harass us, we will lose focus.
Absolutely.
So
everyone needs to speak their voice, reach out to their House of Representatives, and it's an election year. They're going to be listening. It's an election year. Do not let that fall on deaf ears. Do not sit on the couch and wait for something to happen. You got to speak up.
Perfect mic drop moment right there. Angel, always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much for being here. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
No problem. And guys, Angel will be back here next Wednesday. She is our steady contributor. And of course, we'll continue to bring you guys awesome conversations as we continue to step our show up. But in the meantime, stay tuned. We're going to come right back after this quick commercial break and bring you the entertainment story for the day. Stay tuned.
At Taco John's, you can expect one thing, so good. As in quality ingredients, used in tacos and burritos made just for you. Every single bite.
So good.
Expect nothing less at Taco John's.
All right, guys, welcome back. We're wrapping up with the entertainment story for the day. If you're looking forward to the Toronto International Film Festival, they're now offering digital movie rentals in the midst of the pandemic. They too had to adapt given the quarantine. A lot of the other major shows had to postpone or cancel, such as Cannes, Tribeca, South by Southwest, and other main dates on the festival circuit. So what the TIFF Festival is doing is what's called the Digital TIFF Bell Lightbox Initiative. I know that was a mouthful, but the initiative is actually named after the Bell Lightbox headquarters, which is where the film festival takes place every year. And they had to close that due to the pandemic. So until August 14th, they're going to offer new releases starting at $5.99 Canadian, which is about $4.50 US per title. So this is something they're doing ahead of the film festival, which sets off in early September, specifically September 10th to 19th. So that's when the film festival itself is going to run. They plan to screen about 50 film titles over a 5-day period in physical theaters, pending a green light from the city, of course, because they have to wait for the go-ahead from city and provincial health and safety authorities before they go ahead and run their festival, because safety first. But the film festival does plan to mainly involve virtual red carpets, press conferences, and industry events. So if you want to find out more, just be sure to Google the Toronto International Film Festival or just type TIFF, T-I-F-F. You'll likely get more information on that. But thank you guys. That does it here for us at the Evening News Rundown. If you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us. You can find us at Florida National News on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. On YouTube, be sure to also click the bell icon when you subscribe so you get all of our notifications for all of our shows. And here on Facebook, we have a couple of other pages. You can be sure to like FNN News TV and FNN News Live as well. And a quick reminder for business owners who want to advertise with us, be sure to send an email to ads@floridanationalnews.com to get more information so we can get you started. But in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us this evening. We hope you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Take care.